Our safe switch Milotic is met by Tentacle. On the recommended moveset, we are completely wall, but we're running that Hail Mary hyperbeam. The question is, does the opponent respect the damage? Welcome back to the channel. There are two things that I really enjoy about Pokemon Go PvP. That is using Shadow Pokemon and some fun anti-meta spice. If you head over to PvPoke, you can clearly see there are three top meta monsters in this meta. Clodsire, Mandibuzz, and Feraligatr. Ironically, if you put all three of these on the same team, they've got pretty good coverage and it is a very hard team to beat. PvPoke, being the fantastic resource that it is, allows me to put all three of these on the same team. You're going to see it's got pretty good coverage, a pretty good bulk, yada yada yada. But what it also tells you is things that can beat these three threats. And that is what I'm interested in doing. A few seasons ago, when Virizion and Steelix ran everywhere in the Ultra League, I was running Slurpuff that was ranked like 280th. So if we're going to do this, let's have a look at them potential core breakers. Oh, hello Milotc, ranked 380th in the rankings. The thing is with Spice, you don't need to be everything. You've just got to beat what you can see. Also, Abomasnow falls on that list, so we're going to try out the Shadow variant. I'm going to round this team off with something that also does alright into them three threats, as well as the general meta, Shadow Sableye. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. A point to note, Milotc is recommended running Blizzard, however I've personally opted for Hyperbeam, just some coverage into stuff like Azumarill. And in game 1, Abomasnow picks up a fantastic lead into former top meta dog Altaria. The opponent safe switches into Dubwall, they farm up to the wild charge, full send, but Milotc really does not care. Milotc, with a very good stat product, almost hitting that 2000 that Dan Ottawa goes on and on about that you need to be any good in the Great League. I personally like much more attack weighted Pokemon, but this Spice pick at least does hit one target that other trainers do look for. You can see Milotc running rampant in game number 1, almost deleting 2 threats. I'm going to send out Abomasnow, shield once, commit to the Powder Snow farm down, and then we find ourselves in a 2v1 situation. The opponent sends out Gardevoir. What the hell is this team? Sableye doesn't particularly like Charmers, but if we've got a C1, Gardevoir is certainly the one we're looking for, as at least our Shadow Claws hit back for super effective. Something like Wigglytuff, I'd probably cry myself to sleep. Abomasnow manages to force both Protect Shields off this Gardevoir, putting it in a range where Sableye is going to be able to come in. Shield what likely is a triple axle, looking to vamp up their attack, but unfortunately they're not even hit off a boosted charm, and we're able to take that game. In the next battle, well, I talked that one into existence, didn't I? Wigglytuff. Am I surprised to see it? Of course I'm not. This essentially is Niantic's love child. They've buffed it for about the last 4 seasons consecutively. The opponent safe switches into Poliwrath, and I respond with Sableye, of course, trying to keep it as far away from that annoying Marshmallow as I physically can. It's kind of ironic that I'm looking to hunt this season's new meta threats, and I'm seeing a lot of last season's stuff. But that's okay, because Abomasnow and Milotc do pretty well into that as well. Last season we had a lot of Dragons, a lot of Gligar, a lot of Water Gun Lantern, and both Milotc and Abomasnow can hang with that meta as well. The opponent goes down a Protect Shield, looking to realign their Pokemon, which is going to send out Milotc, tank whatever the opponent throws. They go for a blind Icy Wind, which does absolutely nothing, and commit to the Dragon Tail farm down. Out comes Mandibuzz. Finally something we're looking to see. As I'm debuffed, I'm going to build up some energy, sack Abomasnow, sorry buddy, you'll have your time later, and then just continue in farming with Milotc. I'm just going to keep farming up to a point where I've got double surf, anticipating the opponent sending out that Marshmallow, and back out it comes. Now we're loading energy. You know the drill. The first surf will be forcing the final Protect Shield, and the second one is going to knock out. Last season, perhaps it wouldn't have, but surf now does more damage, and then we find ourselves in the bait game. The opponent's thrown double Aerial Ace so far. This smells like a bait. Trainer, if you want a Dark Pulse me, enjoy yourself. The opponent goes for yet another Aerial Ace bait, and that will be sealing their fate as we're going to reach that Hail Mary Hyper Beam, and Milotc is going to sweep the back line. GG's, and thanks for playing. Milotc ranked 380th on PvPoke out is saying, put some respect on my name. In the next battle, we see a shiny Dragonair lead with an Annihilate safe switch. Am I stuck in a time warp or something? Why am I seeing all the old meta? To be fair, I got pretty clap running Miss Magius yesterday, so I guess my hidden Elo is pretty garbage and people are just running whatever they've got. However, we're managing to chalk up some nice wins here, so the meta should shift back to what I'm actually looking to see. The opponent sends out the City Electric Fish. They are ABA weak to Abomasnow. If that's not bad enough for them, wait till they see Milotc. The opponent likely don't shield this, knowing they're going to get absolutely clapped by Abomasnow. Not that Dragonair does any better, to be perfectly honest. But at least it is going to hit for neutral. I'm just going to tank whatever they throw. Anticipate the opponent blind switching. We're switching as well. And in 3, 2, 1. The opponent is going to see the writing on the wall, concede the match, and we're going to move on to the next one. We see the battle of grass types. I think Trevenant is a pretty interesting pick in this meta, especially with all the mud slappers running around. We farm up, pause a turn, ensuring the opponent doesn't catch the weather ball, forcing a protect shield. The opponent builds to a potential shadow ball. I am going to respect it, and to my surprise, I did not get baited. The opponent then switches into Clod Sire. They are ABA weak to Abomasnow. I fire off the weather ball, force him chip and dip, and then send out Milotc. Ice is a very good anti-meta typing in today's meta. However, which ice type should you run? I think Abomasnow has both pros and cons. The fact we're a grass type means we're better into mud slappers as we do resist ground. How we do pick up that poison weakness. However, Clod Sire isn't too bad as we heavily outpace this slow, annoying pest. The opponent invests the protection, looking to get rid of Milotc, and this is just free farm for Sableye. Sableye comes in, gets a massive Shadow Claw farm down, out comes the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death and Blink, and you might miss it, get that Talonflame off my screen, back out comes Trevenant, and this game is signed, sealed and delivered. GG's, and thanks for playing. My joy is short-lived as we see a fire type in the lead. Of course, Abomasnow double weak to fire. I say switch into Sableye and out comes Greninja. Things are not looking fantastic. We're going to put it all on Milotc, hoping to do the impossible. The opponent shields the power gem, which is a good shield from them. As you saw in my previous video, if you land a power gem, you're actually able to resist his Shadow Claw farm down. We send out Abomasnow, using it as the damage sponge. I actually really like Greninja. If you go back to the start of the video, when you see them core breakers for that really annoying top 3, Greninja does fall on it. We tank both Night Slashes, return fire with the energy ball, leaving minimal farm for the opponent. To my surprise, they invest that final protect shield, going all in on Greninja, and we pivot into Milotc, and out comes Abomasnow. I'm almost certain I counted 6 here. We sometimes visually miss one coming in when the opponent switches, but regardless, we call the bait, trying to get ourselves back in the game, and we do. We now fire off the hyperbeam. Hyperbeam picks up that one hit KO, and suddenly from a rough spot, it looks like this game is very, very winnable. Of course, I need to start shielding everything, and we need to ensure the opponent doesn't make a catch. So what I'm going to do is receive the energy for a surf, stop tapping, ensure I see the fire spin start. Surf will be picking up the knockout despite being debuffed. Back out comes Greninja, and stay in school, kids. Learn to count. We catch the Night Slash back onto low health Abomasnow, and at this point, we're just going to be able to Dragon Tail farm down after shielding once and somehow pull off the dub. Milotc, you absolute monster. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Dunsparce in the lead. Pretty bad for Abomasnow, not particularly great for Sableye either, but Sableye doesn't take super effectives from the rollouts. We do save switch into it, saving Milotc as our best matchup in the back. Our Sableye save switch is met by Como-O, again not fantastic, as our charge moves are fully walled. My Shadow Sableye is an insane flex of a perfect 0-15-15 at rank 1. So I was hoping I survived and was able to get off the foul play. Unfortunately, I did not. I didn't get DRE or damage registration error or new mechanic, whatever you like to call it. So unfortunately, we don't obtain a shield advantage in the mid game. The opponent only reaches Dragon Claw, which of course I don't intend to shield. We pivot into Milotc and out comes Charger Bug. Only wink on here is somehow catching back onto Abomasnow, hoping that 50-second switch timer saves me. Although in fairness, even that's coping, as the Volt switches will probably put me into drill run range. We are going to try our best. We fire off one Dragon Tail and the Surf for optimal fast move timing, one further Dragon Tail and the next Surf, ensuring the opponent doesn't get too much free farm. You can see I'm spamming, looking to switch out, but the 50-second switch timer doesn't pop up. Even that logically wouldn't have saved me. The opponent is now doubled up. There's no point in shielding this, as the opponent would just throw the Rock Slide, so we're gracefully going to lose with a Protect Shield. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Thickersby, aka Diggersby. I call it Thickersby because of its ridiculous HP. This opponent is running Fire Punch, which is double super effective, so I am going to burn a Protect Shield. I'm then going to farm up, throw the Energy Ball on the CMP tie, as I don't think Weather Ball will knock out. The opponent looks to call the bait, hashtag no baits on this channel, and we pick up that big one-hit KO Diggersby. You might think you're thick, but not thick enough. Out comes Clefable. We fire off the first Weather Ball, then able to reach the next Weather Ball on the CMP tie, and Abomasnow is running rampant. The Snowman has done its job, so we're just going to allow the opponent to take me out with the Moonblast, or at least so I thought, but they actually throw the Meteor Mash. So now in my head I'm thinking, they've probably got Meteor Mash and Swift, so we look to catch the next Meteor Mash onto Milotc unsuccessfully. Perhaps on Moonblast Meteor Mash, who knows? They throw the Meteor Mash here, so now I'm really confused. Because if they had Swift, they probably would have thrown it there. The opponent was actually just bait, and they had Moonblast all along. I had the Surf, tried to Dragon Tail farm down, couldn't get it, and out comes Mandibars. In previous seasons, Mandibars would fancy his chances against Sableye, but this season is also different. We're going straight power gem all the way. We land the first. I'm always calling the bait here. This smells like an aerial ace. Yet another opponent kills a poor defenseless cat, and I do not shield bait in my household again. We full send. The opponent looks to call the bait in return. We're going to Shadow Claw farm down Clefable and take that game. In the next battle, we see Alolan Sandslash in the lead. I try and instantly pivot but get some lag, so I end up throwing a quick move. But eventually, we do pivot out into Milotic and we're greeted with Primarina. The question is, do they know about the Hyper Beam coverage? Because if they don't know, they're about to find out. Milotic is the king of the water types. You heard it here first. Back out comes this Powder Snow Sandslash. Please make the Surf Milotic. Unfortunately, the opponent gets the perfect farm down. Again, no DRE. It is what it is, but we are still in a very rough spot. Sableye not going to appreciate all this energy. The first Ice Punch lands. The opponent already at the next one. I'm kind of forced to start shielding. Sandslash, a very good Pokemon with heaps of energy. The opponent sends out Ferrothorn. I'm going to try and catch the Power Whip back onto Abomasnow. But of course we've found the one and only one still running Mirror Shot. I don't know why I said still running Mirror Shot. I think most have always run Thunder. A few run Mirror Shot. I think Mirror Shot's a naff move, with the exception of this one matchup you see here. Well, actually, maybe Frostlass as well, but still, really, you couldn't make it up. If that was on Power Whip and Thunder, not only would Abomasnow resist everything, rather than taking super effective, I'd have almost banked 2 moves on Sableye. I'm just going to keep farming. I'm forced to shield here. I've realised the opponent's timer will be up, so I'm going to blind throw the Energy Ball, hoping the opponent no shields, as Energy Ball is going to do big damage despite being resisted. The opponent shields that up. You can see I'm not quite doubled up. The opponent has now received the energy for the next Ice Punch, and unfortunately, we just aren't going to win this battle. GG's to that opponent. Ferrothorn, pretty cool. If you're going to run it, please don't run shitty Mirror Shot. Heading into the next battle, we have Deja Vu. We actually both end up Simul swapping. So I already know what this team is. This is going to be Wholesome's double Mud Slap team that he was able to go 49 and 6 with, I think. However, the thing is, if you're going to copy a content creator's team, you don't always know how it works. So this opponent saw exactly what they're looking for in the lead and switched out, giving me very much the edge. We gain ourselves early shield advantage. We're just going to take that. I'm going to send back in a Abomasnow here. This is only a Mud Bomb. The opponent doesn't commit to the Rock Slide, so this is an easy tank. The opponent then not wanting to get farmed down, send back out Sandslash. And like I said in the previous battle, this might be resisted, but it won't look like it. Energy Ball puts them below half health, and I send out Sableye. After under Energy Ball, I'm hoping I can one shield and farm down before the second Ice Punch is reached. It's going to be close. Can we get it? Shadow Sableye does not let me down. The opponent waiting out the clock. So I'm already anticipating the opponent trying to catch back onto the low health Marowak. Out comes Gastrodon. We throw out quite awkward timing, just ensuring I see the Mud Slap animation. Foul play, force the Protect Shield, we'll then go for the correct one and the next move. This isn't going to be lethal, but is going to put them low. I actually thought I'd reach one further foul play, but yet again, no new mechanic. Not that you should rely on it. I'm just pointing out how I never get it and opponents often do. We send out Abomasnow. The opponent full sends the Earth Power. We don't respect nothing. Mud Slap is resisted. We're going to one shield flex and take that game. In the next battle, we see Galarian Stunfisk in the lead. We're getting a whole heap of lag, but we're still able to successfully catch the Rock Slide. So now it's going to be 6 to the first rather than 5. So we throw 6 Powder Snows and then pivot into Milotic. This is one of the reasons I said, like, just after the intro, why I run Hyper Beam. Because if we was on Blizzard and Surf, we'd be completely walled against stuff like Azumarill. Hyper Beam going to hit for neutral, but Azumarill tanks that reasonably well. Likewise, Milotic going to be able to tank a play rough if the opponent's got it reasonably well as well, because we're pretty bulky. The opponent's still going to have a tough time of bubble farming me down. I'm going to commit to the next Hyper Beam. It's either take switch or force that shield. No silly baiting from me. Hyper Beam does obtain us a shield advantage, and as always, I'm happy with that. Azumarill does have a lot of energy. Worst case, there's another play rough that's going to do like 55%. They actually throw the Ice Beam, hoping to get off 2 moves. We're just going to throw the Energy Ball, look to get rid of them. And let's see what comes back out. If Stunfisk does return, we might chip and dip, but they actually send out Annihilate. We pivot into Sableye, drawing back out the Bear Trap. I heavily overfarm before firing off the foul play. They've thrown 8 Mud Shots, so after throwing 6 to the first Rock Slide, I believe this is enough for an Earthquake. I could be wrong, but I was trying to crunch numbers at the time, so I do shield the first move. The opponent then throws what can only be a Rock Slide. There is no chance it's an Earthquake, so this is going to be an easy tank. We're then just going to Shadow Claw farm down the Bear Trap. We're almost doubled up on foul plays. Annihilate really isn't that Pokemon you're looking for this season. If you want to run an Ape, try Primate. The first foul play forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. This neutral foul play going to get the opponent low. The opponent looks for the counter farm down. They're unable to get it. We Shadow Claw farm down and take that game. In the next battle, we see Annihilate in the lead. We really wasn't looking to see this thing, but we're kind of right into it, other than in the lead where we saw it. Out comes Tentacruel. You know what time it is. We're YOLO in the Hyper Beam. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. They near get one shot. Milotc able to Dragon Tail farm down. And with switch advantage, this game should be over. The opponent actually looks to send out their Dragon, which is a very interesting play, as we're using Dragon Tail as a quick move. Surf, force the Protect Shield. Of course, we're just going to send out Abomasnow. Abomasnow going to operate as the damage sponge. The recommended moveset is actually Sludge Bomb. I was kind of expecting to get Sludge Bomb to the face. We didn't. Out comes Annihilate. I'm just going to shield once. Look to Shadow Claw farm all the way down. The opponent YOLO their close combat, giving me less farm, but it's too little too late. When Guzzlord does return, we're going to one and throw the Power Gem. Power Gem goes unshielded, and we're able to take that game. In the next battle, we see Victory Bell in the lead. Please don't tell me Bastion is going to enter the arena. The opponent actually send out the Tin Can. I'm going to be really cheeky and look to catch the Focus Blast onto Sableye, just because why not? The opponent does throw the Focus Blast and then concede the match. I left that one in because I thought it was kind of funny. GG's regardless. Heading into the final battle of today's showcase, we see Abomasnow into Galvantula. That is very, very much a yikes lead. The opponent does me a favour, instantly pivoting out into Greedent. This is a Pokemon I didn't expect to see too commonly this season, as Mudshot generates less energy and Body Slam has been nerfed. But guess what? This opponent's like, who needs Body Slam? Not me. I'm going to be a Giga Chad and run Crunch and Trailblaze. Kind of an interesting moveset, to be honest. Milotc able to survive one Trailblaze, return fire with the Surf. Surf isn't lethal, but certainly puts him in a range where I can either Powder Snow farm down or even resisted Shadow Claw farm down. The opponent fires off one further Trailblaze. As they're double boosted on Mud Shots, I thought, I'm not going to reveal my third. I'm just going to send out Abomasnow and get all the energy in the world. As long as I don't have a Steel type, we should be forcing shields. The opponent actually sends back out Galvantula, so we throw one Powder Snow and the first Weather Ball, which goes unshielded. Abomasnow says there's plenty more of where that comes from. The second Weather Ball does force a Protect Shield. We don't throw on CMP, as that is a charge attack we lose. Instead, we take the extra. If I wasn't debuffed here, I think 6 Powder Snows knock out. They still might, by chicken out, play it safe, throw the Weather Ball just as the opponent is receiving the energy for the next move. They actually invest that Protect Shield, then send out Gastrodon. Oh baby, high Gastrodon, by Gastrodon. One shot from absolute full health. We send out Sableye, one Shadow Claw, picks up the dub, and we're going to emerge victorious. So those were the battles that I put together with a team trying to counter the top 3 on PVPOKE. Unfortunately, I didn't really see what I was looking to see. But that's to be expected, of course. This is the first week of the season. People are going to be trying out new stuff. I might revisit this team at a later date. But despite not seeing what I wanted to, I think the team was still super fun to run. And we picked up some great wins with a spicy pick in Milotc. This team, without a doubt, will be better later in the season. When we get Elo and we climb a little bit and start playing the sweaty tryhards, because all them players just run the basic top picks. Another team I thought was kind of interesting was the Shadow AWAC, Greninja and the Abomasnow team. That would be a very cool anti-meta team, something I might run myself. If you'd like to see me run that, post it down below. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to a battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.